Alright, so I've seen a bunch of people with projects on our project car, and I thought I'd chime in with the little project I'm working on right now. We're building a 4-seat Prerunner. This is Alumi Craft from Santa California. We're here right outside Orlando, Florida. A little bit different than what we normally see in our market here. But we decided we were done with the little rails, wanted to get something a little bit bigger. We go out to all the big races every year out west, and we've fallen in love with these cars. So we thought we would attempt to do one ourselves. So we had Alumi Craft put together a chassis for us, kind of a roller chassis, arms, shocks. I had them go ahead and tab out and put a body for me. Another one of my buddies bought a 2-seat car. It's basically one of their Class 10 cars. But yeah, anyways, so we bought these cars back in November, picked them up in April, and it is September 2nd. So still been working on this for a few months. We got it. It was just basically bare frame with the suspension hung. So anyhow, we got a few things left to do on this car. We've got our dash layout pretty much done, where our gauges are going to go in. I've got our GPS cut out, our car-to-car radio, and our in-car radio at least sorted. We're going to have over there on the very far right iPad mini mount, and all the little orange dots indicate our switches with their respective circuit breakers. So it's a 4-seat car, but we're probably going to end up just using 3. My son will ride with us, and then we'll have some space over here to put in a cooler of some sort. Make a little mount that kind of bolts into where the seat would normally bolt to on those tabs. So Harman custom cut the cell for us. I gotta send the top plate back to them so they can go ahead and put a fuel sender in for me so I can hook that up to my autometer gauges. I picked up these gauges for a steal off Amazon. Not probably my first pick, but they were a great deal, and deal usually kind of wins out. I don't really like the chrome bezels, but that's really the only thing I have a problem with. These are their designer series, I think is what they call them. So let's put this up here. So you get this whole kit here that comes with a speedo, water, oil, fuel, and a voltmeter. And the speedometer is kind of cool because it comes with the GPS antenna that just screws right in the back. There's no adapters or anything. It's all electronic, and all of the fuel, the water, and oil all came with senders. And that kit was like $360 on Amazon. It's normally like $700 list, and most people have them for like $500. But keep an eye out, and you can find some pretty good deals every once in a while. So using all Mastercraft seats, Mastercraft belts in this car. It's got a Pro-Am 5-speed shifter, the Momo steering wheel with the quick disconnect, not quick put on. We went with the Baja Designs lights for this car. I really like the feature with the strobe on these, and they're pretty dang bright. That's what was recommended by the builder. There's a lot of cheaper options. These were pretty darn expensive, so hopefully I'll stay in love with them. I mean, the money's already spent, so I have to. But anyhow, these were not so bad. These are only like $100 for these sport quads that they had. But these Onyx 6, this little 10-inch bar, and that's a 40. They have a strobe and a high and a low feature all built into them, so it's kind of neat. Got the little Ricer Gila horn. They're actually really, really loud. A lot of the guys out west use those. Got a Howl 2.5 rack. We got a myriad of different things. CBR. We sourced our radiator through CBR. We plan on putting an LS3 in this car in the future. Right now, we kind of blew the budget on the car and all the little toys and stuff that we wanted to put on it, so it kind of ran out of money for an engine option. Here in Florida, it's very easy to get a hold of these V6 Honda motors. This is a J35A4. Comes out of like a Pilot or an Odyssey. They make about 240, 250 horsepower or something like that. And it'll get up and go. I mean, the car probably weigh in right at about 2,200 pounds, 2,300 pounds when it's all said and done with. So quite a bit less than an Odyssey or Pilot, and they move around just fine with the motor. So, but yeah, in the future to have an LS3. We had one that we were going to get. The local guy bought one from GM as a crate, and he ran out of money for his project, so he was fire selling everything. I should have picked it up, but I didn't get a chance to. But anyhow, so on this, we went ahead and did the stock Honda wiring harness with the stock Honda computer. There's quite a bit of stuff that has to come off this harness that goes to different sensors that we're not going to be using, different systems like EGR and some of the other missions, and then a lot of that's transmission. And then I've been trying to tidy it up, pull it into a way that it'll fit nicely. I've got to go back through and cut and solder a couple of these lines together, make it a little cleaner, and then we'll go ahead and heat shrink everything and resheath it with like flexi sheet. So that's primarily what we're working on right now, is getting all of this wiring done. So with that being said, I got the wiring left. We've measured out for all the brake lines. I got to order all the stainless braided lines, and I've got to order some stainless braided lines for my radiator. We normally do like a hard aluminum line with regular rubber flex hose, but I wanted to do something a little bit different this time. Don't know if it's good, bad, or indifferent, but we're gonna try it. So these are dash 16 AM fittings, so I'll buy some hose and put the fittings together, and we'll wire it up. We'll have it plumbed out that direction. So the shocks on the back are not on right now, or the coilovers. The shocks are on. The coilovers are over in my tool cart right now. I'm waiting on some parts to come in. We converted them over from reservoirs to piggybacks, kind of like these old reservoir hoses here. And now it'll be a fixed piggyback like this one. It'll have a bridge, and then the bridge comes straight off the shock body. There was really no place to put the remote reservoir, so we had to fix them. So it'll kind of sit on the front of the shock like this. Bunch of air motor filters. Got a Bosch fuel pump. That's really about it right now. As soon as we get done with the majority of the rest of the motor wiring and we can start the motor, then I'm ready to go ahead and finish a few little minor fabrication pieces we're going to do. We're going to add a couple more little bars to the back, reinforce that a little bit, and we have all the wiring for the chassis and the dash already laid out, logical diagrams and Visio and whatnot. So as soon as we got this back from powder coat, it'll be easy to go ahead and start pulling wire and putting everything in. I'm going to be cutting the dash for the gauges soon. The transmission's a Mendiola transmission. That's one of their MD5s, and we decided to go with the 935 CVs and the 300M axles. I used to have a problem braking axles all the time when I was using Type 4 stuff, if you're familiar with Volkswagen. So we skipped 930 and went straight to the 935s. The 930s work really, really well. My buddy's still going to be using those. I figured since we were going to go with a little bit bigger power plant in the future, we'd go ahead and try to eliminate that issue right off the bat. So it's been overbuilt a little bit. The radiator is much larger than you would normally use for a Honda V6. But again, that's because it's going to get an LS heart sooner or later. So that's kind of it on the car right now. Had a lot of little projects come up, and we just need to get a little bit more attention going out here and see what other things we can take off the checklist. So there's the GPS. All right, well, I thought I'd share. I love looking at everybody else's projects. I thought I'd share one of my projects and go from there. All right, hope everybody enjoyed. Bye.